Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Deb C, and the place to be, it's Deb C. Boop, boop, that's me. Boop, Deb C. Hey guys, and happy Thursday. I hope everybody's having a great day. I am feeling a little bit better than I was yesterday. There's always something with me, like everything was okay today, and then I got up to come in from my room into the kitchen to make this video, and my left ankle was just like, no, we're gonna give out. So handy duty cane. Thank goodness for canes. Okay. I hope everybody is having a wonderful week and had a great day. I did watch Real Housewives of Salt Lake City last night. I made some notes today, and we're going to get into Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. There was a lot. Okay, so it was day 2 in Puerto Vallarta. And they started off the episode with Heather Whitney and Bronwyn. Heather Whitney and Angie talking. They went down, they did water aerobics, because we found out from Whitney that Justin always makes sure that when they're on vacation that they do water aerobics with like seniors. And so they did that. It looked like they had quite a workout and they had fun, but they talked afterwards. Okay. This did not make me like Todd anymore. I wasn't a fan of Todd's. I'm still not a fan of Todd's. So as it turns out, like Bronwyn got mauled by that dog, who then she later helped out. But she got totally mauled by that dog, and Todd wouldn't go to the emergency room. He was like, no, it's nothing. And then her assistant was like, here's pictures. And then he was like, oh shit, maybe I should have gone. You find out that your wife was just bit by a dog, your first reaction should be like, oh shit, I gotta go take care of my wife. That's what you do. I'm not married, but I think that's what you would do. Why is my skin looking so red here? Do you see this? I think it's just because I got out of the shower and I used hot water. Listen, and I can't even go on this side because I have this. Anyways, look. I think that's what it's from. Ugh, and the other side's not great either. And if I put my glasses on, you can still see it. But there, my glasses will be on. You can't see it as much. Okay. And Heather had said Todd kind of reminded her of the marriage that she was in. That thankfully he left her, and he to me seemed like he was an abusive ex. Heather's ex. Heather says Lisa told her that Todd is really obsessed with Bronwyn, but that really hasn't been shown like at all. So everybody's gonna go yachting. Lisa got a yacht, and they're on their way to the yacht in the Sprinter van, and Meredith is in the back like sleeping. And somebody asks, oh wait, I think it was Brittany. Brittany asks, are you okay? Oh yeah, I'm tired. I just didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Well, then in like a flashback, we see that Meredith is like, or no, in confessionals, Brittany is like, she was up all night crying. And we find out later, crying and thrown up. So they get to the boat. The boat is called The Best Day Ever. This is not going to be. I mean, foreshadowing. Everything's starting off real good. They're having some drinks. They're dancing. They're having a dancing contest. Everything is great. And then Lisa starts talking about Henry. And that's when Brittany has to chime in and be like, hey, my feelings are hurt because last night I told you about my daughter and how she came over and we spent the night and talking and this and that. And nobody had anything great to say about that. And now all of a sudden, everybody's fawning over Lisa and her talking about Henry. My feelings are hurt. And everybody was kind of like, making faces like, really? And even Angie was like, she was just talking about Henry, and now you're making it about yourself. And then that's when Bronwyn gets in and was like, hey, do you just like making announcements, or you really, do you like the idea of seeing your daughter? Now, it was a shitty thing to say, but for real though, I mean, she's always making an announcement. Like, it's giving pick me vibes. Like, that's what it's giving me. Brittany has always been like pick me vibes. Brittany then calls Bronwyn a bitch, and you're thinking that if someone was your friend for like 10 years, that they would maybe stand up for you and be like, hey, how about, we calm down with the bitch. It's supposed to be a nice day. But that was Lisa. If you thought that the person that would defend her would be Lisa, you're wrong. Because Lisa, the only person that Lisa defends, we found out, is Meredith. That's it. That's only one person. Not Angie, not Bronwyn, Meredith. That's it. And here's the thing. And she's talking about how I've been called not a good friend and a bitch, and I've been called not a girl's girl and a gold digger, and you don't say anything. I'm going to tell you right now, Lisa Barlow is out for Lisa Barlow. Lisa Barlow is self-absorbed to the max, okay? If you're not Lisa Barlow or in her family or Meredith, then she don't give a shit about you. So here's the thing. She's a shitty friend. I think she's always been a shitty friend. So why do people try so hard to have Lisa Barlow as their friend? Why are they so obsessed with having Lisa Barlow in their friend universe? I don't understand it, like, at all. Stop. Please stop, Bronwyn. I mean, you were hanging with Angie and Whitney. Listen, Lord knows, I'm not a big fan of Whitney's, but I mean, I would take her probably maybe as a friend over Lisa Barlow. I'm just saying, quit trying so hard to be friends with her. So then and Lisa is like, when Lisa says, and Bronwyn had said, listen, if I don't stick up for Lisa, then I'm never going to hear the end of it. I won't hear the end of it until I die. And that's true. And Lisa is like, well, I don't expect her to stand up for me against people that aren't my friends, because if that was the case, or they're fighting with me, because if that was the case, she wouldn't have any friends, and blah, blah, this and that. Listen, Lisa does that all the time, where if you don't have her back, then she's pissed about it. So no, I don't buy any of that. And then, listen, last week we got the teaser of the infidelities, and I was like, oh shit, please, if this means that Todd was cheating on her. So here's the thing. She's like, and if you don't know everything I have to deal with, being a stepmother and being married to someone who is much older than me, and the infidelities in our marriage, I was like, oh shit, now here we go. So here's what happened. Gwen, Todd, and Bronwyn were on vacation. Gwen went to ask Todd a question, and I guess walked up behind him. He was on an iPad. He was texting a woman, and it was kind of flirty. She saw some stuff. Terrible, right? So the question was, did you confront Todd about it? And she did. And then he comes back with this bullshit of, it's a fatal flaw. And I push so hard for success, and I push so hard in my professional career that it's hard to turn it off when I come home. Just like Heather said, will you turn it off then? And when you come home, you knock that shit off, because otherwise you could lose your wife. But that's not what's going to happen. Listen, I'm going to tell you, honestly, listen. I'm going to say this right now. Cheating, you cheat, you shouldn't be given, when you marry, that's your one chance. And then you cheat, and that's it. You shouldn't get any chances. She is giving him chances. Now, everybody's different from me, but I'm just saying, I feel like if you cheat once, and then you're allowed to do that, and you say, I'll change, it makes it easier for that person to cheat. I'm just saying, that's all I'm saying. Yeah. And here's the thing. If he says, it's hard for me to turn it off when I come home. So what do you mean? I know that he means he's pushing it work, like professionally for his career. But is he flirting with people at work? Because listen, he's away 5 days a week, 3,000 miles away, 5 days a week, every week. What are you doing? I don't know that I would trust him. I don't know that I would trust him at all. I wouldn't trust any man that does that. Forget that. So listen, the worst thing about this, though, the person that I did not think would be there for her was there for her. And that was Heather. Like Heather, Angie, and Whitney were there for her. And then here's Lisa, her friend of 10 years, and Meredith. When Meredith, seriously, here's why I think Lisa didn't believe her. Because she said in her confessional, everything looks perfect on the surface, and you hear about how good he is to her. And then she says, it's hard for me to believe. And then also at the end, when they're getting off the boat, the little conversation back and forth between her and Angie, where Angie felt sorry for her, and because that made me think she doesn't believe her. So then she said she talked to Bronwyn, talked to Todd about it, and he didn't listen. He didn't say, what do I have here? He didn't deny it, because she was like, because Whitney was like, did he deny it? It's like, he didn't deny it. He gave me a ring with 5 diamonds for 5 promises that he should have made when we got married. Listen, when you get married, to me, that's your promise. When you say I do, that's your promise that you're not going to cheat. You're not going to cheat. You're going to do this. Things that are already in marriage contract. That's what I would think. But listen, when she said he gave me a ring with 5 diamonds, and what did Lisa say? Lisa said, "Oh, that's nice." And did you catch that look from Heather? She was like, right. She is surface level. Lisa Barlow is surface level. Lisa Barlow cares about this. Lisa Barlow cares about Lisa Barlow. She cares about looks. She cares about money. That's what she cares about. Okay? That's what she cares about. And then Meredith making it seem like it's all Bronwyn's fault. Like, do you think he's not totally invested in you because you're so guarded against him? Like it's her fault. Oh, first of all, Meredith was just barely there. Okay? Meredith was just barely there. And then when she is there, she's coming out in favor of Todd. Like she's on Todd's side. and Whitney was right. Listen, Whitney has not been given anything this season, hasn't been given anything for quite a few seasons. However, her comments weren't wrong. Her comments were on point, because in this instance, when your friend is here and she's pouring everything out, and she's talking about, Bronwyn's talking about how her mother is gone, she's losing her father, Gwen's going to be going away to school, to college, and and then Todd's away a lot of the times. She doesn't feel like, she feels very alone, and she feels like she's not good enough for anybody. Listen, that hit hard, because for a lot of my life, I didn't feel like I was good enough for anybody. So that hit hard when she said that. And then to have someone who you think is your friend and another woman who is a new friend, then blaming it on you or not believing you. When Whitney said the appropriate response in this instance is fuck Todd, that's exactly what it should be. That's exactly what it should be. If you say you're a girl's girl and you're blaming the woman, no, I thought that was shitty. I thought that was that. And then at the end, when they're leaving, Lisa Barlow goes in for that fake hug. Oh my God. I'm so glad you shared. That made you so relatable. What do you mean that made you so relatable? You done known her for 10 years. No. I'm done with Lisa Barlow. Anybody who's like, she's the queen, she's not. She's not my queen. So the ladies get back to the hotel. Everybody eats. Lisa, Brittany, and Meredith sit down and eat. And Brittany is determined to get it out of Meredith what was going on. She's like, how you feeling, Meredith? Meredith says, like, I felt terrible in the boat, but she feels better. I feel better now. That's it. No other information. No other information at all. So you ain't going to pull it out of her. You're going to need help later on. Bronwyn, Whitney, and Angie, they sit, they eat, they talk. And they were talking about Lisa, and, Bronwyn saying, I noticed that something is going on with me and Lisa. She doesn't have my back. And it almost felt like she didn't believe what I was saying. Whitney comes out and says, listen, even if she has the best intentions, Lisa's not the best at listening. She really doesn't know how to listen. She doesn't, but that's not the case. It's because she's self-absorbed. She doesn't care about anything but herself. That's all. So we'll end that notion of she doesn't know how to listen. No, she doesn't, but she cares about herself. Angie can even see, like, listen, something is going on between the two of you, because, like, you're over here. And Bronwyn was right. Bronwyn's says she's doing just enough to make me feel uncomfortable, but it's not anything overtly wrong. Like, it's not anything that's glaringly bad. It's just little small things. Heather then joins them, and she also agrees. It did feel like they were taking Todd's side, acting like it was Bronwyn's fault that he cheated. And then Whitney says that she thinks they sided with Todd because both of them were in that situation, in Todd's situation, where they were the ones who were accused of cheating. Remember? the hot mic moment, Lisa said Meredith slept with half the people in New York. And then on one of the trips, remember, it was alleged that Lisa gave blowies for jazz tickets. So they're going to side with him. And even Heather like chimed in and agreed with that. Angie floated the idea that maybe they didn't believe what she told them. I thought that at the same time. In the moment, I thought the same thing. Back at home, we see Robert Jr. is willingly going into treatment. That right there, such a great moment, because it showed the start of his journey that he really himself wants to make. Willingly went in. Good for him. So Mary shows up at the villa. I'm going to tell you, Mary seeing Angie just made my heart like so happy, because you can see, I swear to goodness, if you would have told me last season that Angie and Mary were going to have a genuine friendship, and in my mind, it's honestly, it's one of the best friendships that's on the Real Housewives of any city. I love it. It just makes my heart so happy for both of them, but especially for Mary. So then they had dinner, or I'm not even going to call it dinner that night, because it was more of like a Vita Tequila like commercial / infomercial. Once again, Whitney was right. Like, do they have enough money to do commercials, or is this just it? I'm gonna have to see if I can find where Vita Tequila is sold, because this whole commercial, this was like a brand deal for like a brand trip for Vita Tequila. All they needed was some influencers, and they could shoot this Vita Tequila infomercial. Mary, given the humor that we needed, everybody else is eating and she's waiting for her pastrami. She's waiting for her pastrami soup. And I'm like, wonder if I could go on Pinterest and find a recipe for pastrami soup. If I would find it, I would make it and I would eat it, and I would eat it here. Brittany once again pushes Meredith to try and find out what's going on. She brings up like how she was crying, and she shuts it down. She's like, I'm fine. That's it. And then Bronwyn brings it up and is like, well, I'm just saying, because I know you said you don't want to talk about it, but I'm going to ask anyways. It was going around the villa that you were crying and throwing up. And then everybody proceeds to talk about throwing up, and here's poor Mary trying to eat her soup. And I don't blame her. Like, listen, if I'm sitting here and I'm eating and I'm hungry and I just traveled all day, I just want to eat. I don't want to have to eat with you talking about vomit while I'm trying to eat. So then Meredith says, I don't buy this at all. Meredith comes out and she says, if you have to know, I was crying last night because of the slut shaming. Oh, come on. Did you buy it? Who bought it? If you bought it, in the comments, raise your hand. Like, do a hand raise. Because, and then once again, Whitney with the comments, Whitney was like, so now she's representing, now she's the advocate for this, now she's the advocate for, what did she say, the sluts of America? I just didn't understand. Come on. You were crying over the slut. I mean, you just made up with Angie. And you want us to believe that you're in your bed all night crying and lost sleep over the slut shaming? Oh, my God. We need a badge that says Advocate for Sluts of America. So then, of course, Lisa had to then insert herself in the middle of it. Because once again, remember, Remember who she always stands up for. She has to stand up for the advocate, for Advocate Meredith. She sticks herself in the middle, and then Angie comes back, and she has a problem with it. Anytime somebody tries to stand up to her, that's when she gets a she has a problem with it. She says she's not in it, but she's directly in the middle of it. She's saying, then she says to Bronwyn, everybody needs to stay out of it. Oh, you put yourself directly in the middle of it. Okay? So if you get in the middle of it, expect for there to be some kind of pushback, because these people ain't going to sit around and just let you walk all over them anymore. And then Lisa with the fake tears, because Angie's like, listen, Bronwyn, we got to know, I know more about you from this in your marriage from this afternoon that I've learned from Lisa. And Lisa was all tore up, had to cover her face to try and produce herself some tears, because she was all crying. She cried herself out of that situation. And right, Mary, I'm with you. Everybody's screaming. Mary couldn't even enjoy her soup because of the vomit talk. So how about some dessert? Yeah, Mary's like, where's the dessert? I'm with you, Mary. Next week we get this clip looked ridiculous. So they're in the Sprinter van. It looked like it was Lisa and Whitney yelling at each other. And then Angie's like, are you recording this conversation? And then that like potato shot, that real tight side shot of Meredith screaming, are you recording our conversation? And then she completely crashes out and yells, you can get out. You can get out. I'm tired of you. Get out of where? It's a moving van. I don't know where you're going to get out at. You're in a foreign country and the van is moving. I don't know where you're going to get out at. Plus, honestly, people getting upset that you're recording the conversation, there's cameras. It's a reality TV show. You ladies have been on this show for like a few seasons, for years. You know that it's recorded. So if someone else is recording your conversation, then that's two people that are recording your conversation. And where do you want them to get out at? Like I said, it's a moving van that's moving. So there we go. Ugh, I can't with Meredith. Meredith always has to tell somebody to leave or to get out. She's always thrown somebody out. And this van don't have security. So listen, in the comments, if you watched, please let me know what you thought. And also, if nobody told you yet today, you are loved, seen, and heard, please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there in the world so that it comes right back at you. Please take care of one another. Be mindful, be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of your surroundings. Be smart, be safe. Hydrate often with water. If you're in a dangerous situation, please be mindful, be aware, be smart and safe. And know that Dolly and I are sending our love, thoughts, prayers, and positive energy your way to make it through anything. So I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.